Welcome back. I made some changes and I want to talk through them. So last time I was, well, let's just look at the diff. So I made some changes so that we can see okay, so previously if you wanted to edit the settings of the space, you had to click on the header menu, which is the same header menu that we get out here. And therefore, if you were to click here, you can barely see this in the iframe area over here. And then you have to click in here, which is a modal within another page, and this was squeezed very, very small. So what I did was I created a controller of its own, and I also added the ability to show and hide this header. Excuse me. So that can be done inside. Well, let me show the router. In the router, we took some of this out. So we're no longer going to have templates that you create. I think we'll just, whenever you create a new space, maybe there's just some stuff in there already, or you can just clone some other space. So we may end up removing this. But anyway, space controller just has the show. Let me clean up space controller actually. Space controller just has the show, so we're not going to do this because what we have is working pretty well. So we're not going to create in here space controller. So it just has the show. We're not going to have an edit. We're not going to have an update. I'm not going to have a delete. Coming back to the router. And then we have space edit slug. This is what is in the iframe on the right. And so if you look into this space edit live index for space edit live, now I pass this header false, so that in the layout over here, remove this IO inspect. If we pass in header false, then we can hide this menu. And that's how, if you go into the spaces and then enter it and then open up the menu, you don't see that header here anymore. Instead, we put a link to settings, which if you can see down here, it's edit space with a slug edit. Going back to the router, that's this under M, edit space, slug edit, and this opens up the space edit live edit page. Space edit live. Oh, it opens up what does it open up? Let's check out our live view. Space edit live. Index. Oh, okay, yeah. It still opens up this, but we created a modal. So on top of this, we created if live action, and we don't have new in here, we only have edit. So if the live action is edit, we open up a space edit live form component. So we don't need the new, we don't need this, we don't really need the title, action, it's live action, space, and we return to this space. Then we have a link to the settings, which opens up I guess this passes the live action. And then that renders this form component, which we kind of copied from other examples of live modals, which are capable of editing the space. So we took the code that was in spaces, this one, we took this code and basically copied it and pasted it from these two files to these two files, making very minor changes. So in here, you can update, validate, save it, and it just, in here we removed the slug because editing the slug here won't actually change the URL, so just remove that for now. We also added Skybox and Skybox inclination to the form and backing fields. So we just take a look at the GIF diffs now. Remove some console logs, and then we added process scene settings, which takes these settings and process Skybox. So it will add a Skybox if it doesn't have one, or it'll remove a Skybox if you uncheck the box. And what else do we have here? Yes, added the backing fields, some defaults. So Skybox is off by default. Inclination is noon, top of the sky. And we added this header false thing, the modal, modify the form a little bit. I could still use more help in the styling. I commented out the template business, took out some plugins business which we're not using, and what else? Yeah, remove some more plugins stuff. And then I added a server script so that we can start the server with a server script that will add environment variables, which I will not check in. Okay, so let's add all these changes in there. Templates. So what are these? Templates space. Shouldn't these be removed? I don't understand why these changes are being tracked. Templates space. Anyway. Let me take a quick look. BXR web templates. Oh, okay, I guess I was adding some field. Okay. Yeah, we don't need those. We don't need those because I was playing around with the router idea of creating a classic controller style. Let me remove this. It's just a comment. But also in the layout templates space, these guys. We just have show and edit menu. We don't need these guys. Alright, so let's see what happens to this paging. Deleted, modified. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we don't need those. So quick play with this. We go into spaces, you see a space. If you go to enter, menu, settings, it's too much fog. Decrease the fog. Oh, you see, I see sun over here. And maybe turn the fog all the way down. Turn the fog all the way down. And, okay, the sun's still here. Let's move the sun further down. about 4.9. Very good. Okay. If we can commit this. Git commit